All right. So I am kind of doing some work in my backyard, like my hat. Been doing some work in my backyard here as the temperatures here in El Paso start to cool. And there's one particular area of my yard that I could not get to because there was a large bush in the way, so I couldn't get access to it. I think it's been here for probably maybe as old as the house is. I'm not for sure, but it's been here for a while. And there's right behind me, you can see there's an area back here where I'm trying to use that as kind of a mulching area for a lot of the leaves that come from our trees and stuff like this. At any rate, I really wanted to get access to this area so I could kind of clean it up and make it look nice and kind of clean up the yard in a lot of different areas. But the problem was this bush that I have right here. See that bush? It doesn't look very big, but its branches were pretty big, and I have a shed back here that I wanted to get access to, and it was kind of making it difficult to get back here to all these areas because this bush had been overgrown. I actually had cut it back like all the way down to the stump a couple of years ago, but we had a lot of rain this year, and the rain just seems to encourage it. And so I finally said, you know what, I'm going to dig that thing up and get that out of here. Well, it may look small on the top, but what was really surprising was everything that was underneath. So you can see look at these things. You can see some of the roots that are holding it down. And they're pretty extensive, and you can't tell now. I've been working on this for probably 3 or 4 days now. Just digging and digging and digging. I guess there's probably somebody in the world that knows how to do this, maybe a little bit better than I do, but this root system in particular, went quite a ways. You can see where I've dug up. And part of the problem was that there was I could see after I got into it, there was a little sprinkler hose or sprinkler system that had run underneath it. And I found out that where these roots were the biggest, like this one, and all through here, they were running right next to this sprinkler hose. So that's where I think they got the biggest. Sorry about that. So I started thinking about it. And I started thinking about how our habits kind of grow in our life. They kind of grow little by little, bit by bit. Think of your backyard like your life a little bit. And our habits start to grow. And over time, they might start blocking our access to different areas of our life that we want to get to. Things that are important to us, things maybe that we didn't even know existed. I kind of equate that to the things that we want to accomplish, whether you call them dreams, goals, whatever it is. And these habits become bushes with huge root systems that over time the roots get bigger and bigger and bigger. And those are, I guess you could say, the roots of bad habits. Now, there are good habits too, and good habits have roots too. Good habits and bad habits have to grow over time. It's difficult sometimes to get rid of the bad habits, but you can get rid of them. It just takes a little bit of effort and some work. First of all, you got to recognize that there's something around the habit, the bad habit, that is blocking you or sabotaging you from achieving what you really want to achieve. The good habits, which I'll show you what I think a good habit looks like, right? If there's bad habits, then there's good habits. It's my trampoline. Don't judge me by my yard or the back of my home. But this is a good habit. It provides shade. It allows me to see underneath it. I keep it a little bit trimmed, and I can see pretty much as far as I want to, as far as the houses will let me go anyway. But it provides me what I want. It gives me protection. It gives me fulfillment. come out here, we put a swing on it, and the kids can swing on it, and it's useful in my life. That is a good habit. But something like this eventually turns into a terrible habit and blocks us from accessing the things that we really want in life. So as you think about the habits in your life and you think about the things that you want to accomplish, sometimes you don't even realize, sometimes you don't even realize what you're trying to accomplish until all of a sudden you realize that there's something in the way of getting what you want. You can overcome that. I have a lot of habits in my life that I'm trying to overcome, bad habits. But when I see that tree and how beautiful that thing is, I realize that there are some habits that I have that are good habits, and they beautify my yard and they make me feel comfortable. And so I'm going about, even though it's taking several days, and it'll probably take me several more days to get rid of this thing, but it'll give me what I want. I know it sounds kind of kooky, but I really want to get back here and I want to get into this shed a little bit more. So instead of just cutting back the branches from time to time, which doesn't really eliminate the bad habit, I've come full circle and fully aware that I have to get rid of this thing altogether. Otherwise, I'm going to keep working on it and working on it and working on it and working on it, and it will never bring me any joy. And ultimately, that's what we want, right? Is to have a little bit of joy in our life. So I think that's the lesson I want to get after. You can do it. You can accomplish anything you want. See where you are and see where you want to be and try to get through that. A friend of mine, Paul Blanchard, was talking about the other day, the difference or the gap between what we want and where we are. And sometimes it takes a lot of effort to jump over that gap. Right now, this is a gap in my yard being beautified, and I'm going to get rid of it, but it took me a big jump. I've been wanting to get rid of it for years, and now here I am finally doing the work to make it happen. And when it's gone, I'll be able to enjoy this yard a little bit more and really be able to focus not on the thing that's in the yard that's driving me crazy, but on that that's in my yard that makes me happy and brings me joy. It's a really cool tree. There's not very many trees here in El Paso, but it's nice to have this one. So take that for what it's worth, and have a great day and a great week. Thanks.